What's going on, guys? I'm Danny, and thank you for checking out my channel, Bluray Dan. Guys, how are you? Happy October. We did it, guys. We're finally here. We made it through the summer. We're into the fall, and now everything is horror and everything is pumpkin. We're now at a time of year where everybody who loved horror has more of a reason to watch it, and they're watching even more than ever before, and you got people who never watched horror who are just pretending to be tremendous horror fans. And I think I personally find myself somewhere in between that category, those two categories. Now, this video right here is going to be specifically about my top 5 favorite horror films released by A24. A24 is a studio that I've grown to love, and they have a lot of underrated and unknown indie kind of films that kind of span from to all genres, but this one, of course, since it's Halloween month, this is going to be all horror related. Now, A24, since it's fairly new, they don't really have that many horror films to pick and choose from, but I've seen every single A24 film, and I was able to narrow down from about a good 15 of them. I was able to narrow down my top 5 list, and that's what this video is going to be right here for you guys. Now, before I go into anything else, let me just say that, guys, if you enjoy this video at all, please leave a like. If you guys have anything to say, thoughts on the films that I'm going to talk about, or thoughts on films that I didn't speak about, ones that you like or prefer more, please leave that down in the comment section below. I would love to discuss these things with you. Also, if you enjoy it, share it around, and if you are new here and you like my stuff, feel free to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. But alright, guys, now let's get to the nitty gritty. I did go down with a couple of honorable mentions, just gonna kind of list them and not really go into them. And again, you guys are gonna have different opinions on these, and that's totally cool. If you don't agree, you don't have to agree. So let's get right into it, guys. I got my notes right here. So I'm gonna give you guys 5 honorable mentions. So starting at what would be number 10 is gonna be Tusk, starring Justin Long. At number 9, we have Under the Skin, starring Scarlett Johansson. At number 8, we have Krisha. This is a film that I just saw recently. At number 7, we have Into the Forest, starring Ellen Page. And then finally, at number 6, we have Life After Beth, starring Dean DeHaan, Aubrey Plaza, and I believe John C. Reilly's in there as well. Maybe Molly Shannon. I don't know. Don't hold me to that one. But alright, guys, here we go. Now let's get into my top 5 horror films by A24. Coming in at number 5, we have The Witch. This film right here takes place in the 1600s, I believe about the 1630s. And this film follows a family of a husband and wife and their 5 kids, and I believe the husband does something against the church that gets them exiled from the town, and they're kind of living now in the wilderness, like the forest, the wooded area. Now, while they're trying to survive, a lot of weird things start going on. Their crops start dying, and they have a baby that goes missing, and some of the children start dying, and the film gets really eerie and very odd, and there's this damn goat Black Phillip who keeps coming around, and the movie gets into a lot of witchcraft stuff, and it's just really creepy. This is a film that took a long time for me to watch, just for the reason that everybody said it was so damn scary. And I don't know if I would say that I was really freaked out by it, but the movie has a lot going for it. It's a slow burn, but it's just, the whole atmosphere is really creepy, and you don't know what's going on. And when you throw animals in there, and you throw little kids in there, and you're not sure what's happening and who's doing what, or if anybody's doing what, starts playing a whole mind game thing on you, the film gets really good, and it's very interesting, and it's just, it holds a very strong creepy factor. This film also has some great cinematography and really great performances, and an ending that I would say is kind of unforgettable for me. And that is why The Witch is my number 5 film. Coming in at number 4, we have Hereditary. Now, Hereditary is starring the very talented and very popular this year, Toni Collette. The movie basically follows Toni Collette and her family, her husband and her children, right after her mother passes away, who was kind of like the matriarch of the family. Nobody was really close to her, but she always acted very odd and very eerie. And once she passes away, a lot of weird things start happening throughout the family. Her kids start acting very odd, everybody starts seeing things, and the whole entire atmosphere of the film is just very creepy. Whether it's from the daughter cutting off the heads of pigeons, or people slamming their own heads into the wall, it holds that atmosphere, that creepy atmosphere, the whole entire way through, all the way to the end. You honestly never know which way the film's gonna go, because things just keep changing from one minute to the next. There's just something that really messes with me and freaks me out when people start slamming their own heads into things. I don't know what it is, call me crazy, but that really makes an impact and leaves an impact on me. In addition to that, the film is just, it's full of just great performances, and again, the atmosphere of the film just sticks around the whole entire way through, and it leaves you on a note where you sit back and you just stuck. You don't know what to do with yourself. And to me, that makes a really good horror film, one that sticks with you afterwards, and that's why Hereditary is my number 4. Coming in at my number 3 spot, we have It Comes at Night. Now, this movie is starring Joel Edgerton and Christopher Abbott, as well as a few others, and this was a kind of controversial film because it's one that it really kind of leaves things up to your imagination. The movie takes place in a boarded up house that's kind of secluded and hidden from the world because there's an outside threat or virus that's gone around. It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic movie, but you don't exactly know what happened, and it follows Joel Edgerton's family as he tries to survive day by day and just stay hidden away from the rest of the world so that nobody comes up and bothers or hurts them. And along comes Christopher Abbott and his family, who are looking for a place to stay. Now, at first things seem okay and everybody's kind of getting along, but then Christopher Abbott kind of starts getting caught up in his own lies, and it really adds a lot of tension to the situation. And while that's going on, there is a whole world of something going on outside, and you don't really know which is more to be feared, what's outside in the world that you don't know, or what's right in front of you and you're unsure of. Now, this film stuck with me because it's very quiet, and you just don't know what to believe or who's to be trusted throughout the whole entire thing. The way it was filmed was great, the cast was great, and all of their performances were fantastic, and it's one that grew on me more with each watch, and that is why It Comes at Night is my number 3 film. Now, in my number 2 spot, we have The Monster. The Monster is a very underrated horror film, but just it's an underrated film in general. I feel like not many people have heard of this one. This one is about a mother and her 10-year-old daughter who basically have a very damaged relationship. They do not get along, and the daughter wants to go and stay with her father. Now, I can't exactly remember if the mother had a drinking problem or a drug problem, but she was falling apart and she couldn't handle the responsibilities of being a mother. So she decides to drive her daughter down to go see the father and go stay with the father for, I don't know for how long, I'm assuming for good. And while they're driving at nighttime down these dark roads, they wind up hitting an animal and the car breaks down. Of course, it starts raining outside, and there's a downpour, and they're just waiting in the middle of this road, very, very dark road with the woods and the wildlife on both sides of them. Now, while they're waiting for help, some creature, some animal or monster starts to terrorize them and whoever winds up coming to help them. A lot of this period takes place within the car, and if they get out, again, it's raining and it's downpouring, and it makes for the perfect horror setting. And you know, you don't exactly get to see what the creature is throughout a lot of the movie, at least half the movie, but trust me, the payoff is really, really good. The performances between the mother and daughter are great. You see that they start forming a bond and they do start to appreciate each other, and it was done just so well. So trust me when I tell you guys that this is definitely an underrated film, and I really hope that you check it out based on my recommendation right here. That is why The Monster is my number 2 film. And alright guys, now coming in my number 1 spot, we have Green Room. Now, I know some people don't exactly consider this a horror film, but I definitely do. It's a horror thriller suspense kind of film. If you guys don't know about this one, you're really missing out. The movie starring Anton Yelchin, the late Anton Yelchin, unfortunately, Imogen Poots, Joe Cole, and Patrick Stewart, and again a few others as well. Now, Green Room follows a punk rock band who's basically in the wrong place at the wrong time. They wind up playing at a really rundown and hardcore venue, which is it's filled with and run by white supremacists. As the group is finishing up and they're leaving their room, one person forgets his cell phone or his cell phone charger, and he goes back into the room only to witness a murder. Now, the owner of the place is run by Patrick Stewart, and who's a head white supremacist, and he comes along and does not want them to leave because they've seen way too much. And now from that point forward, the movie becomes a fight for survival, and it is brutal as all hell. Honestly, it was so much more brutal than I originally anticipated or originally thought that it was going to be. And I remember sitting in the theater not exactly knowing what I was getting into until there's one scene, I'm sure you guys all know about it, with Anton Yelchin reaching his arm outside of a room and getting cut up. When that happened, I remember just being totally shocked, as well as everybody else in the theater. I feel like all the wind got pulled right out of us. That right there is when we knew what we were all in for. Now, you honestly feel how desperate each of these characters are, and just the inner fear of they don't know what's gonna happen. They were locked in a room and they're all trying to get out one by one, and they're all just hoping to survive. The film just gets really, really intense really quick, and you just don't know what's gonna wind up happening. You don't know who's gonna die, who's gonna survive. Honestly, it had me and everybody else in the movie theater just on the edge of our seats, and the film has held up time and time again with every single watch that I've had it. I've always had that same exact feeling. The way it was filmed was just really, really great. The environment that they were in, just from the white supremacist environment alone, just gave the film a really, really great and overall creepy feel. And that mixed with the coloring that they used, it was really dark with like neon lighting, and their use of sound was done very, very well. And just you add all the incredible acting performances by the cast in this film, and it all adds up to my #1 spot. Honestly, it's very well deserved, and I think it's going to hold that specific spot for a very long time, if not forever. So again, if you have not seen Green Room, I mean, just check out Green Room. What are you doing? You know what, guys? Check out all of these films that I mentioned here today, because they're all honestly fantastic. Again, it's my opinion. You may not like them as much as I like them, but trust me, they're all worth the watch at least once. But alright, guys, that is it. That right there is my top 5 horror films released by A24. Again, guys, there are many other films that have been released. I know a lot of you guys have different of opinions on this, and I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. Tell me what you think of the choices that I've made, and tell me which ones you would choose for your top 5. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. If you guys want to follow me anywhere else at all, you guys can head on down into the description. All the links are in there for social medias. And yeah, guys, I hope you have a fantastic October, a really, really great Halloween, and I hope to see you guys soon. So, you know, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well. Okay, guys, it's time to go. Again, thank you guys very much. As always, I'm Danny, and this is the Bluray Dan channel. I'll see you guys next time. Happy Halloween!